Sounds like fun. Posted June 18th, 2022. Someday I'll write in more detail how I came to be the drummer in a band. Well, it was not in any plans I had for my life, certainly not as a middle-aged non-percussionist. It has been a lot of fun. In fact, while entertaining some out-of-town guests at a conference recently, my friend and I made an impromptu appearance on stage as guest musicians at a dueling piano bar. The raucous crowd was filled with strangers, friends, and coworkers. The latter likely shocked and slightly amused at the sight of us on stage. I'm sure many thought it some sort of prank, or secretly pitied us for the embarrassment sure to follow. But once the first notes of the unmistakable ZZ Top hit Tush began, they went wild. It was a super cool experience that sort of fulfilled a bucket list item. When I was a teenager, my dad sometimes headed north with friends to canoe the Pine River, and I got to go once. It happened that the group stopped off at Government Lake Lodge, an iconic roadside inn at the water's edge. It was a well-known restaurant, bar, and music venue. I forget a lot of stuff I should remember, but this memory is clear, which explains the bucket. One of our group, and complete stranger to the live band that was playing, coaxed his way on stage with his harmonica. The rest was history. The crowd went wild. The band went wild. We went wild. The ladies especially went wild. It was one of the coolest things I'd experienced in my young life. That was our guy rocking out up there, and it was just plain fun. Thereafter, I wanted someday to be that guy. I got that chance last month. Immediately after my last cymbal crash, texts and videos started blowing up my phone. There were no cell phone cameras back at 1980s Government Lake, so there's no proof it ever happened, nor testament to the quality of music. But it didn't matter in either case. The crowds at both the piano bar and the lodge were having a blast. It didn't matter none had played together before, nor that a beat or two were missed. Some bands teased their audience, "The more you drink, the better we sound." That wasn't the case, and whether true or not, is in no way an endorsement for drinking irresponsibly. Unless, of course, it gets me a recording contract. The point is that fun is a key ingredient to enjoyment in many areas of life. As I type this, it has been exactly 1 year that I've done equivalent to at least 54 push-ups a day, one for each year of my life. It started out as a fun way to challenge my aging body and provide motivation to do something physically beneficial every day. It wasn't quite as much fun after about a week, and some days were even a struggle. Whether workouts or work in general, the most enjoyable days are often the most productive days, and my push-up challenge was no exception. I had to make it fun again. When things that should be joys in life become more like chores in life, be on guard. Just ask any marriage counselor who's helped couples through infidelity or intimacy issues. I believe God endowed each of us with purpose and gifted us accordingly to fulfill that purpose. I also believe God gifted us with the ability to experience joy and wants us to live a joyful life. Hey, nothing brings people to the church like a bunch of bitter, temperamental, joyless Christians, right? In many ways, we have become an angry, whiny, hypersensitive, inflexible, unforgiving society that take ourselves way too seriously. Can we get a little carried away sometimes? Of course. Even the humble King David, a man regarded as a hero of faith and after God's own heart, perhaps enjoyed pleasure a bit too much, a little too often, with a few too many women. We can't just spend our time having fun or doing things simply for pleasure that have no purpose or fail to add value. Brant Hansen points this out in his book, The Men We Need. He writes, "If I'm engaged only in activities and projects that ultimately yield nothing, I will feel it. If I want to play video games all day, I can, and I'll enjoy it while I'm doing it. But there will be a psychological price to pay. Inevitably, boredom and discontentment result from too much engagement in meaningless things. So maybe in between some of those meaningless things, we should also defend the weak, help the helpless, rescue the needy, favor the humble, care for orphans and widows. And for goodness sake, have some fun, laugh, and smile a little while you're doing it. Especially if you find yourself on stage jamming out in front of a cheering crowd of them. Keep doing great things. Get strong, be strong, stay strong.